Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy, and this is a summer vinyl tag, and it was devised by Peter at Music as a Journey, and he had a special guest on there, Bobby Gaylor, which I guess used to have a channel. Unfortunately, I missed it, but he sounds like he would have had a great channel because I really enjoyed listening to him. So they devised these 15, I think that it was a joint effort, these 15 prompts for a summer vinyl tag. So let's get right into it. 1. Summer usually means constant sunny days. Show an album with an image of the sun on the cover. So I'm choosing from Chilliwack. You can see the sun up there. This is their album Riding High, their fourth album from 1974. They're a Canadian band. This is a reissue cover. I guess the original cover had something else on it, not the sun. But anyway, they kind of weave in folk and jazz elements into their songs. Crazy Talk is the song to really check out, I think, off here. Prompt 2. Since summer is made up of 3 months, June, July, and August, show an album by a trio. So I picked ZZ Top. This is their album, Deguelo, their 6th studio album from 1979. There's the 3 guys, although they're holding saxophones. But you got Billy Gibbons, guitar and vocalist. You've got Dusty Hill, bassist and vocalist, and then you got Frank Beard, the drummer. ZZ Top. One other thing I'll say about Billy Gibbons is my brush with fame is I actually ran into him in a record store. So I don't know if he was a collector. I know I've tried to read up about it, and I know he collects automobiles and guitars, but he must be a record collector too, because he was in there looking for records. All right, next. Prompt 3. The 4 zodiac signs for the 3 summer months are Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Show an album representing one of those signs in some way. So I'm choosing the Moody Blues and their album Long Distance Voyager. This was their 10th studio album, and they have a song on here, if I can find it, entitled, where is it? Gemini Dream. And since Peter's over there in Japan, it's a Japanese pressing. But yeah, this is a song supposedly about the duality of the musician's life, being on stage and at home. So yeah. Gemini Dream for my zodiac sign. 4. It's summer break and college kids are returning home and partying with their friends. Talk about a drinking song or one just connected to alcohol. Well, if you're gonna have a drinking song, might as well be a country song. So I'm picking Gary Stewart. This is his greatest hits. I think I have the album this song's on the CD, but I just grabbed this, and it's She's Acting Single, I'm Drinking Double. Gary Stewart had that kind of vibrato country voice. He also had Drinking Thing on here and Whiskey Trip. So yeah, I could have used any of them, but She's Acting Single, I'm Drinking Double. Great country tune. Prompt 5. Summer is tornado season. The tri-state tornado in 1925 was on the ground for 219 miles before dissipating. Show the 219th album in your collection. Well, I could have gone the easy route and just used my Discogs, but unfortunately, I didn't. Discogs uses the A is for Alice, B is for Bob, Steve way of filing things, and that also does the Brian way of putting the numbers at the beginning, which like 10cc goes in the T's for me. So anyway, so I went and did the hard thing and counted, and this was the 219th album in my collection, and it's Bonnie Light Horseman. They're kind of a folk group. This is their self-titled debut from 2020. Like I said, beautiful folk music with some rock elements. Check out the title track, same as the band's name, Bonnie Light Horseman. Prompt 6. Brain Freeze. July is National Ice Cream Month. Show an artist that has a song with the word cold in the title. I went with an easy one. Foreigner's debut from 1977, and their big hits, Cold as Ice. So, how about that? Number 7, Flag Day is observed in the U.S. on June 14th. Show an album with a flag on the cover. So I'm going with Jefferson Airplane, their album Volunteers, fifth studio album from 1969. The title track was also one that they played in their Woodstock performance. Yeah, anti-war album, but you do have the flag on the cover. Question. Prompt 8. July 1st is Canada Day. Show a Canadian band. How about The Lowest of the Low? And this is their album Shakespeare My Butt. This is a kind of garagey alternative rock. Their 1991 debut. Glenn Calloway from The Basement was the one that introduced me to this album when we did an album exchange. Yeah, Lowest of the Low. Great Canadian band. Prompt 9. The Dog Days of Summer start on July 3rd. Show an album that's a dog in your collection. One you no longer listen to, dislike, or want to purge. Well, this one's definitely a purger. I mean, it's even hard to look at anymore as I'm giving up my dream. You can see what it is right there. Yeah, it says, The Quickest Course on How to Become a Ventriloquist by Jimmy Nelson. No relation, but if I ever see him at a family reunion, he's going to hear about this. Yeah, forget it. It's a perjurer. Prompt 10, Summer Camp. Every morning, a bugle blowing reveille wakes you up. Show a band or song with horns. So I'm going to show Bobby Bland and his album Here's the Man. Just a great horn section he always had. This album was arranged by Joe Scott, who also plays trumpet. There's also a baritone and tenor sax on here and trombone. Just like a great horn section. Of course, he's got his biggest hit, I don't know if it's his biggest hit, but it's the song he's most known for, Turn on Your Love Light, which has some great horns on there. You can see someone playing the sax right there, yeah. Bobby Bland, just some great horns on his albums. Prompt 11. July 27 is Take Your Houseplant for a Walk Day. Show an album with a flower, shrub, plant, etc. on the cover. How about not only taking your plant for a walk, how about taking your plant for a ride? And this is Head East and their album Get Yourself Up. Wonder what that means. I don't know. Yeah. This is their album that came right after Flat as a Pancake that had the big hit, Never Been Any Reason, but yeah. Great Illinois band, Head East. Summer blockbuster movies are released. This is prompt 12. Show a favorite soundtrack. So I'm picking Our Man Flint. But yeah, this was a great spy movie parody. Came right after the James Bond films were doing so well. They said James Coburn as the James Bond type with all the women. But yeah, Jerry Goldsmith's music is used in that, and he had the playfulness that really worked well with this film. Yeah, Our Man Flint from 1966, I think. Prompt 13, Cat Nights begin on August 17th. It's an old legend saying a witch could turn herself into a cat. Show an album with a cat on the cover and one with a witch on the cover. So how about starting out with Cat Stevens, Teaser and the Fire Cat. I guess that's a fire cat. This is my favorite Cat Stevens album. Yeah. So there's the cat. And then for the witch, got the album Witchcraft, and she's got to be a witch because she's got, even though she doesn't have the hat, she has the skull. I think she's got a couple books of spells. Got the black cat, probably named Pyewacket. And yeah, this is an album from Nelson Riddle and his orchestra. Of course, he played on some of Frank Sinatra's great Capitol releases. Yeah. So that's my witch. I also had the cat, so I could have used this for both maybe. I don't know. Prompt 14. Summer is a time when people take a lot of road trips. What's a good song for a road trip? So I think the perfect one is from this Deep Purple album. It's the opening track. Highway Star, high energy song celebrating speed and freedom. which can link to The Open Road. Yeah, Deep Purple and Highway Star. It has Highway in the title. And the last one, 15, Summer Means Heat. Show 4 bands that alphabetically spell out the word heat. Starting off with this Australian band, the Hoodoo Gurus, and their album Blow Your Cool, which is actually my favorite by them. This came out in 1987. Then you got E, so I'm going with Eels, their album Extreme Witchcraft. I wonder if I could have used that for witch. I guess there's no witch on there. But anyway, Extreme Witchcraft. This came out in 2022. And let's see. And then I go A. H-E-A. I'm using the Norwegian group, Aha. This is their album Scoundrel Days. Of course, their debut album, they had the big song that was on MTV, Take On Me, with a great video. But yeah, this is the album that came right after that. Scoundrel Days, Aha, for my A. And lastly, for T, I had to work Van Morrison in there somehow. So I got Them Again, group Them. This is when he was more of bluesy, garagey guy. And there's Van right there. This is the group Them. So that's my T. And that does it for the summer tag. Hope everyone else has fun doing it. And subscribe to Peter's channel. Music is a Journey. And everyone be safe and be well.